Hello, everyone. This is the first live session that me and Farad decided to do because the movie is such, and the occasion is such that we thought, okay, why not do a live stream rather than a recorded podcast, how we do it usually. And another reason behind doing this live session is so that people who have seen this brilliant film, they can also join us on the live session, and they can also share their own thoughts. So people who are joining, if you want to come on the panel and share your thoughts on this film Churuli, the link to the StreamYard is in my community tab. So please go to my community tab, click on the link, and we'll add you here in the chat, and we'll have you sharing your thoughts as well. So thank you, Farad, for joining me. It's been a week that we've been away from all things cinema because of different factors. And now, since this film came, we were already waiting for this film for so long, along with our amazing audience. So today, finally, we have both seen it, and we are here to talk about it. So, and please don't anyone pinpoint that we are both wearing yellow. It's by coincidence. We didn't we didn't
Yeah,
plan
yeah.
it. Yeah. So now, Farad, Churuli, there was a lot of hype around this film. There was a lot of build up toward this film, and very understandably so, because the film is directed by one of the best directors around, not just in Kerala but in the country. And so, first thoughts: was he able to live up to the expectations with this brand new film after what he did with Jallikattu and other films that he made before?
So Keshav, I have written my review on Popcorn reviews with a double S. You will find my review of Chiruli there as well. For people who are watching or would watch the video or the stream it later, they can please visit my website. It will help me as well. So yeah, so first thoughts, Lijo Jose Pellicer. I mean, that man had actually made, some tremendous movies like Jallikattu, Angamali Diaries, which had that 12-minute long sequence right at the end. Imayu, which was one of my favorite dark humor satires, you can say. And there's a saying that is there among his fans that he does not repeat his films again. So this was like
Yeah,
a totally abstract attempt, Chiruli. Right from the trailer, we couldn't understand anything, and having
yeah,
after finished watching that, we were again scratching our heads, as to what exactly it's saying. I feel it was amazing. It was like one of the finest. Uh, Mind-boggling mind benders that I have seen. Normally when we talk about mind benders, we talk about Christopher Nolan, that is there. But back home here, we have one of our own. Like uh, Churuli, which actually means like a spiral in Malayalam. So the central theme around that is such that even the characters go around that labyrinth, and even the audience are forced to go around that labyrinth. So
yeah.
I feel it was like a smashing concept that was there, and I have a few thoughts as well, which I think we can talk over this podcast live. And it's amazing that we're doing a live session for the very first time. And if anyone is
Yeah.
seeing us, throw in your questions or join us. It's in the community section, as Keshav said, the link to the StreamYard that we have. So we would love to know your thoughts as well on this.
Yes, please. The comment section is on, so you can send us your live reaction, what you felt of the film. We'll take and highlight those comments. And if you want to come here, join this panel with us, then the link to that, the StreamYard stream is there in the community tab. You can go there and click on it, and I'll add you on. First of all, when the movie starts now, straight away you are taken into this wonderland that's called Kerala, because so many times we have talked that this state has probably got the most amount of beauty in our country, and it's called uh, God's own country for a reason. So now here again, the cinematography has to be given a lot of credit, because this was probably the standout for me overall in the film. If I will take away something from this film after having seen it, this level of cinematography and these locations will stay with me forever. I'm not saying just for a few days or months, forever. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. And the moment it starts, the film starts, and it sucks you into that whole world, this that the forest, you want to be in there, you want to actually go there, so that's the magic of the director and the DOP. So and even the editor, so that way I think the start was bang on, and it was required to have such a start, so that from the word go, you are into the film as attentive as possible, because you cannot lose attention for a single moment in this film, right?
Oh, not at all. I mean, so I just need to confess one thing, that I was watching this film in a train journey, So that, and it
Okay.
was a night, and it was a night journey, by the way. So it was adding
Okay.
to that atmosphere, the cinematography that you had said, that foggy atmosphere that was created, or the frames that were capturing the mysterious forest that was there. So it is one of the best, as you said, rightly said, the best pieces of art. The cinematography was fabulous here. It was almost international standard. I mean, I've seen such pieces of art, I think, in many international films, but this is like amazing that I've seen in Malayalam film. I mean, Malayalam films are
Yeah.
known to be technically brilliant, but this is, they've just outdone themselves in the technical department. Even the
Yeah.
sound design, I would say, the sound
Oh man,
design.
sound design, yes.
And
This
I will,
film, so
I
basically,
no, 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 wait. I'll get to that. I want you only to speak about the sound design. I will not be diverging too much in that. We are going to go to the sound design up just in a minute. So,
no, I mean, another thing which I want to point out to all the viewers here. So for the last couple of days, my iMac is not working. Okay, so usually I see my films on proper big, huge studio speakers, which I have for my music work. But this film, since my iMac was not working, I had to watch it on phone with earphones. Okay, and I think this is like a blessing in disguise, because
yeah.
I wouldn't have felt this kind of a feeling in speakers. So when you put on the headphones or good quality earphones, and then you realize the quality of the sound design work that they have done in this film, because there is so much of imagination, there is so much of creativity happening visually. So to lift it to another level, equal amount of brilliance was required in sound design as well, and I think they achieved it right, left, and center. Literally right, left, and center. Like talking about the
Surrounding.
sound. So yeah, I mean, so you tell me first. So you were in a night journey in a train. So what did you feel like, a bit scared, or any different? Like, if you compare it with how you would have felt watching it at home, sitting here in lights, how do you
So,
compare it with a train journey?
So, firstly, I was in motion at that point. So it was automatically, my mind was also like automatically it was moving, as to what is this, what the film is about. And coupled with that, the sound design and the cinematography that was there, it was just adding to that factor. And as I said, it
Yeah,
was a night journey. So, and again, it was an immersive experience for me as well. Even I
yeah.
was on my phone with my boat earphones that are there, not sponsored. Uh, so so yeah, so that it automatically added to that mystery that was there. So the mystery here is not, as if what the film, who that person is or nothing like that. It is like it's something very abstract and very hard to put in words. And I have a couple of theories as well, which I would like to share later on. But coming back to the technical aspects, I mean, it was just fabulous. I mean, this is international quality cinema that we are actually privileged to watch, isn't it?
And I think Kerala Film Festival was opened with this film, if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah,
this was
yeah,
the opening film, and rightly so, so deservedly it is. And from the beginning itself, like I was pointing out that both of the protagonists sitting in the bus and going in all that mist and fog and into the forest. So somebody pointed out in the comments yesterday when I had announced that we'll be doing this. So somebody pointed out, don't forget that when they get down of the bus and they get to that small little shack where they eat something, so there two people are talking that there is a news that some American people were captured by aliens. So that's a little bit of foreshadowing, isn't it? Like they gave it a bit away. If you are attentive enough, that's also important, because if I
Wouldn't have.
hadn't read that comment, and when if I had seen the film without having read that comment from our viewer, I wouldn't have really noticed that dialogue, because I would be like, okay, that's just another dialogue that's there. But that was foreshadowing, because that's what eventually happened with these two guys.
So, I mean, yeah, so that's filled with so many details, like for example, even I'll take a step back as well, when they crossed that bridge, it did not seem like a significant moment as such. It was like a normal moment that was there, but that was actually a very important moment in the context of the entire film. Because post
Yeah,
that, once we crossed that bridge, it was that mystery element that was there. And though it was shot in a very subtle manner, as viewers, of course, like if such an event happens, the first thing that we would think is that is the car going to crash, is the bridge going to collapse, something
yeah,
like that, but nothing of that happens.
yeah,
And spoilers, and once the film shifts to the other side of that bridge,
yeah,
that is when
yeah,
the
yeah,
main
yeah.
story actually starts as
Yeah, I
well.
was coming to that, because it was so uh, obvious, the change, because it's not just how things change in the film, but also the demeanor of the people in that jeep, right? Before the bridge, everyone is so polite, and the tone is very Lata Mangeshkar. And then once they cross the bridge, it's like Amrish Puri all of a sudden, and they are abusing everyone, and and the level of abuses, man. I was
And
only looking at the English subtitle. So somebody who understands Malayalam, they would be able to tell us if they were actually the filthy slangs that they use locally in Kerala. If somebody can tell us, or was it like toned down a bit, and English subtitles were kind of making it look like a bit more filthier than it was. But yeah, from there on, once they cross it, and then that guy is trying to he's praising the driver. Okay, how the hell did you get the jeep over here? And suddenly he says, get the fuck out of it. I mean, that was a trigger point for me. From there on, I was like, okay, something has happened now. Now we are talking. And from there on, the whole momentum shifts. And then from there on, I think after that, I was really interested, of course, first of all, to see how these two protagonists will do. But from there on, I'll tell you something. All of my attention was, taken by Jafar Idiki. That guy, the owner of that little hotel that they had set up there. That guy, what an actor! This guy. Do you remember him in Kanakam Kamini Kalam? He
yeah, he
was
was in
there in
Dunkirk.
yeah, he drunkard, and he was there in a night too, also the minister. So
Ah, oh
such
yeah.
versatility, man. He's a short stature guy, but I mean the impact he puts with every character that he's been given. So for me, he was kind of stealing the limelight from Winifort and the other guy.
Oh man, totally, totally. I'm totally with you on this. I mean, what an actor. And we haven't actually paid attention to so many actors, like, and because the Malayalam cinema is such that they sketch out well-etched characters, basically. So that's why we are getting an opportunity to to shift our attention on such amazing artists that are there. It's not, so this could so easily have been like a two inspector story, and with the others just
Yeah,
being but even some of the other characters that were there, even like Geeti Sangeeta, her name was, that one
yeah,
scene in which she massages and then she screams after climbing on that. Oh my God. I mean, such, it was a very limited screen time, but such an impactful screen time that was there. And all of the other characters that were there, each one was contributing to the screenplay, even if it had to be Shobin Shire right at the end, or
Yeah, that was
Jitu
a surprise.
Jitu George.
That was
Yeah,
quite a surprise, Shobin coming at the end.
yeah, even Jitu George at the end.
Yeah, I mean, talking about having very little screen time but leaving an impact. Just remember that the sister of Joy, she's very normal at the beginning, very mellow. Okay, he's my brother and he's here, he's unwell. And then, that sudden change in her expression when she says, "You's come back. How will you take him from here?" You know that
Yeah,
that uh, that mean look at her on her face. I mean that took me aback. That stayed with me even after watching the film. So exactly the point that these actors, everyone, in most of the Malayalam films, I always say this and maintain it even right now, that doesn't matter how good or bad the film is, the performances of actors in most of the Malayalam films that I've seen, they are mostly, they are really up to the mark. So
top
I
notch.
think credit has to be given to the casting director, whomsoever puts the right people for the right job, and then to be able to get that sort of quality out of the actor. Then kudos to the director also. So and now coming back to the film, let me take a couple of comments. Mohammed Afnan, he says, I think Vinay Fort's character is possessed by Chauvin character, which Chembam didn't realize as he's the monk in this situation and Chauvin is the phantom. So would you agree with that?
I have a totally different theory actually.
Okay.
I can reveal my theory at this. I think this is a perfect time to reveal it.
Okay, he
So,
has another comment to follow up. Let me
yeah,
just take
sure,
that as
sure.
well.
Yeah, yeah,
So
please.
maybe that's the case. I don't know. Or is it just a coincidence that we also know that Chemam follows Vinay Ford just like monk following instructions of an anteater? Okay.
So, what I feel is, and I might be totally wrong, and I don't think there's nothing like right or wrong here. I mean, we have like so many opinions, and I think this is one film that is only going to grow. It's going to have that cult status with people
Yeah.
discussing it. So my theory is that if you remember towards the end, I think they were actually signifying the concept of life, death, and afterlife.
Yeah.
So what basically that was that because they were going around in circles, that was basically representing life. Like
Okay.
each time they were born again, each time they were doing the same things again, and then finally, you could see that a bright, thin layer that was there, that was like a nirvana that was there. So each time they were making the same mistakes, they were actually getting attracted to that negativity, not learning from it perhaps, and that's why the circle of karma was repeating itself all along. And if you remember that one scene, it was just that one scene towards the end where Vinay Fort's character and Shobin's character had interchanged. So Vinay Fort was at the back and
Yeah.
Shobin was sitting next to the driving seat. So
Yeah.
what
So I
that
think
was,
I think that's why Afnan said that he was, taken by
yeah.
Chauvin's character is possessed by him.
So no, so okay, so that was also one theory, and what my theory was that probably in a totally different lifetime, Vinay Fort was the one who was actually the man they were looking for, and Shobin was the co-inspector that was there. That is my interpretation as well. That. They were just interchanging each other's roles basically because it was stemming out from the same fact that uh, uh, one had committed a crime and one had not, so that circle of life or karma that was there, that actually was just circling. So that is my theory.
So,
That is something
so
that I
this
could
this this actually takes me to a scene which I wanted to discuss. So, do you remember one of the scenes where Winifred's character he goes to the house of the owner of that little hotel?
Mhm.
So there he goes to something and peeks into it, and then there's some sort of VFX which is shown there to describe. So, what did you make of that scene? How did you interpret that? What did you see there that he suddenly?
I mean, again, I mean, I felt there were multiple timelines that were there. Definitely, there was a time loop that was there, and uh, at multiple timelines, that character was there. So we should not look at it like that same character that was there. I mean, that was just one instance of the character present at that
Yeah.
moment of time. So that I think was my basic interpretation that was there. I would love to know what others think on that as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So, 33 people are watching us right now. So, guys, if you want to share your thoughts on the panel, you can join us. The link to this live session is on my community tab. Please come on camera if you are not camera shy. Just join the link. We'll add you on here, and then you can share your thoughts as well. What you thought about Churuli, and if you don't want, if you're not comfortable, then at least leave your comments, and we'll add those comments here and discuss on that. Okay, Johannes Verghese, he says, you're lucky you did not know the literal meaning of the cuss words. It actually hampers the experience when watching in Malayalam. Okay, it hampers the experience. Okay.
that's why earphones were
Uh,
important, I guess. Immersive experience.
yes, so definitely. I mean, if somebody was watching, who in a Malayalam household, and if they were not watching on earphones, then they should put on earphones. So this is like a disclaimer for people who have not seen the film yet. So guys, don't watch it with your family with speakers on. Watch it with earphones. Okay, so we have one guest who has just come up. Let's add him, and he'll be able to share his thoughts as well.
Hi.
Hi, Mohammed Ranish. How are you, bro? Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
We are
Good,
good.
man. How are you
So,
doing?
tell us, how long have you been a subscriber on this channel?
Actually, I started from a couple of weeks ago, to be honest.
Okay,
But
Oh,
I've been
okay.
following your all your Malayalam videos and everything.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So, have you seen Churuli? What you make
Yeah,
of it?
I've seen Churuli. It's really fascinating. I've been like religious from first movie onwards. I've been a fan, like
Okay,
Nayag and City of God.
yeah.
Yeah, so I've
So
been a
you're
fan
from
of both.
Kerala? Are you from
Yeah, I'm
Kerala?
from Kerala. Yeah.
Okay, where in Kerala?
Kerala actually in Malappuram, Malabar area, Malappuram.
Okay, okay. So tell us your first thoughts on Churuli.
Surely, I think the story wise, I think it's a time loop, but I think both Sajeevan played by Vinay Fort and Saubin, both I think both of them are modern
Okay.
because in the jeep in the end scene when they lift up
Hmm.
they shift between the characters.
Yeah.
If you see it, they shift between the two characters.
Yeah.
I think both of them are,
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's what I think. And there are a lot of scenes. Like if you cross in the bridge crossing scene, if you see a tree over there,
Yeah.
there is a spiral carved on it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know how many people have noticed it, but there's a spiral carved on a tree over there. It's as if
Yeah.
somebody has marked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I did
the
notice
start,
that, and thank you for pointing it out. That is very very important scene. Yeah.
yeah, and the tea shop owner in the beginning says about entering, the reading the newspaper, an alien
Yeah.
traveling with two people. And, yeah, that's what I felt like. Everything was mentioned. Everything, like a couple of characters saying that they recognize them. Yeah, so
Yeah. So
everything.
right, right.
Yeah.
so you, how different did you think this film is from earlier work of the director? Like we have seen Jallikattu and all the other films. So did you feel filmmaking wise this was a notch above his previous work because he tries to do different things every time?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But for me, Ima Yao is the best. Like it just
Okay.
dwells into characters and talks about that. For me, Ima Yao is always the best. But
Okay.
Churli is a controversial subject now in Kerala because
Oh,
of the
okay.
like yesterday's prime time. Couple of channels were discussing Churli because the
So
curse
because
words were to the extreme, and people were saying
okay.
that how can
Oh,
you watch this movie with family? I don't know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
logic
it's
behind.
oh, it
definitely
is 18 plus. It is 18 plus for sure.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
18
it
plus
is
the
definitely.
subject in Malayalam is too much for the audience.
So,
Oh,
so tell me one
actually,
thing, like how we were reading the English subtitles. So even in
Yeah.
Malayalam, the cuss words are that bad? Are they that filthy?
I was like, I watched second time with the subtitles, and I thought the subtitles just watered down the movie.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
Wow.
So you imagine the impact the movie is having. The prime time conversation is over there. Couple of channels. It doesn't matter the national issues going on. The movie is
Yeah.
being discussed.
Wow. I mean, a
Oh,
film
wow.
becoming a national issue because of the cuss words, it can only happen in India.
Yeah,
Otherwise, if you keep that aside, filmmaking wise, this is a gem. So
yeah,
I think we should grow up from these things.
yeah. We should. Uh, and if you see the movie, the curse that abusive language starts only when they cross the bridge. It's part of the
Yeah.
story,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
We discussed that also. Yeah.
And it has a relevance also at the end, that
yeah,
Yeah.
there's that line at the end that says that, at some point in your life, a person always commits a crime or, rapes
Yeah.
someone in his head. So
In
that
this
was the
head.
yeah,
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
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 True. And there are a lot of incidents. Couple of characters were recognizing them. Like we
Yeah.
have seen you before. Haven't we seen you? Haven't I seen you before? Like that. A couple of characters were actually recognizing them.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, tell me, Ranish, is it Ranish or Ranish?
Ranish, yeah. Anyway, it's good.
Ranish. So, so,
Yeah.
so, which character did you like the most? Like, which performance was your favorite out of so many characters?
I think Jaffrey Dickey.
Yeah, same here.
Ours also.
Karanga, because he in Malayalam, if you I don't know whether you have noticed this iconic comic characters like
Yeah, yeah.
so similar to Johnny Lever kind of comedy, Suraj
Okay.
Venyamudi, and those
Yeah.
actors are known for this comedy. Jaffrey Dickey came from that category, from stage performer,
Okay.
from mimicry artist. These actors are coming from
Okay.
that background and doing dramatic roles.
Yeah, we just discussed that, how he did so well in
Kannada.
Kanakam Kamini as well.
Yeah,
And then before
Nice
that,
too.
in Nayata, he was doing a very serious sort of a minister role as well. So
yeah,
the
yeah.
versatility is there. And, I think in most of the film, he was mostly topless. So, that also added another layer to his character sketch. And so just talking about now the role of females in this film. We have seen that in earlier films also. This director doesn't really have a lot of female presence in the film, and here it's ironic that even though the females are lesser in population and in screen time, but they are more stronger than men. They
Yeah,
have their voice and they are heard
yeah,
as well.
from the start, from itself, if you look at something like from Amen, if you look at it
Sorry.
has a strong female character, and if you look at something like recently Angamali Diaries,
Yeah.
Hmm.
the female character is small scene, but she's the one who's proposing, and she's the one who's more independent and more mature. Every
Yeah.
he doesn't do a lot of, and he's asked a lot of times these kind of questions.
Yeah.
And
So
there's a statement he made that is kind of iconic with him: no plan to change, no plan to impress. That's what he said. Like if
yeah.
he plans to change his style of filmmaking, when the audience asked him, he said no plans to change, no plan to impress. And this is actually his part of trilogy. Imayau, Churli, and I think Jellicate. These three
Yeah.
films are
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
of his
Yeah.
trilogy. Yeah, he ends
Which
Yeah.
is
next.
why I
He,
was saying that, life,
yeah,
death, and
yeah.
afterlife. That is
Yeah,
the theme that he
it's
does.
part of his trilogy, and next film is going to be light-hearted with Mammootty. He started shooting. I
He
think
started.
yesterday, day before yesterday, he started shooting with Mammootty. So the people are excited about that, and he's also doing another one of MT. I don't know, this writer, MT Vasudhai Nayar's uh, anthology is coming up, and
Okay.
Lijo is directing a part of that.
Wow, anthology.
People
I'm
Well,
are
excited for that.
going to go to a light-hearted, small budget films next.
yeah, it would be really interesting. It'll be really interesting to see, how he handles that subject, because it's kind of
Mm.
like, how all his life Anurag Kashyap was making very hard hitting, very dark kind of
Yeah.
films, and then he comes up with a Man Marziyan, which was supposed to be
Mm.
a love story, and how
Yeah.
he would interpret it. People were really interested to see that. So same way, I think how Lijo will interpret a light-hearted story after this trilogy, that will be interesting to see. So another
Mm.
thing, Ranish, like, do you also think, other than the cuss words, the
Mm.
controversy that the news channels are talking
Mm.
about
Mm.
this film, it's also somewhere how men talk about women in this film, because how they, in a couple of scenes I remember, like,
Mm.
at the end, like, Shobin says there are a lot of whores in this village, and what else do you want? And then in another scene, somebody says that, so there are couple of remarks
Mm.
on women.
That's not actually a problem because we have had say, films with lead actors talking about these
Okay.
issues and everything. So that is not a problem. But this curse
Mm.
words in a film that is widely accepted because
Okay.
nowadays the line between the art film and the mainstream cinema is blurred.
Yeah.
In the mid 2000s, of course, surely won't be a mainstream cinema,
Mm.
but now it is, and people are more interested. That's the main issue. People
But
were not people had no problem with a film like Biryani.
yeah. But
It
has
was
it also
considered.
released in theaters
Biryani
in
had
Kerala?
No, no,
many
but
graphic scenes. Yeah.
Has Churuli come out in theaters as well?
No, no, no. But in film festival.
Film festival, right? So since it's in film festival and OTT, then I don't think there should be any controversy or discussion on that, because if it's
Yeah.
in theaters, then
Mm.
it's a bigger medium.
Yeah.
Every age group of people can go there and watch.
OTT, they cannot censor it
Yeah, yeah.
because
No,
OTT
but
it's a problem for them. Because theater they can censor and allow what kind of people they want to see, but in OTT
yeah.
anybody can access. That's the argument. But I think people are very preview to Money Heist, Game of Thrones, and everything. I don't think these kind of films are going to matter. Even if they hide it, people will find a way to see.
So there is a comment by S. Naveen. He says, "How are those raw people supposed to talk there, where there are no rules whatsoever? Cussing
Yeah,
doesn't hinder
that's
the viewing experience;
what
it really adds to it."
I so agree to this. This is a thumbs
Yeah,
up
yeah,
for me. This comment.
yeah, absolutely.
Vinay Fort, who played Sanjeevan, he said in an interview, "This is an area with criminals. Everybody is a criminal."
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
I'll just tell you a little personal story to it as well. So I last year I did a film. Okay, it's also in festivals right now for the last 1 year. It's called The Reluctant Crime. It's still to release in India on an OTT. So I showed it to my family. Okay, when I visited my family a couple of months ago, I showed it to them. The film is doing so well in international festival circuit, and the first thing that my family says is, too many cuss words, yaar, in your film. What was the need? And it's the exact same situation there, because the film is set in such a situation or a scenario where it's so natural that the cuss words would come out of the character. It's kind of like in Wasipur, it's very natural, the way they talk, and the way they use the abusive words. It's not forced upon. You can differentiate between when it's forced upon, when it's done only for the sake of controversy, or when it comes naturally as a character.
yeah.
And it felt natural and organic in Churuli's characters also.
Mm. I think people were generally shocked. Even the people who supported this movie were like, "Okay, we support the film using curse words, but this was too much." People
I,
were,
I just wanted to I just wanted to add, Ranish, one thing. Since you touched upon biryani, I just wanted to, just out of curiosity, want to know that what was the reaction to biryani. For people back in Kerala, and as compared to that, how would you compare the reaction of Churuli? I just want to know that comparison basically, because that also I watched biryani also, and that has many graphic scenes, by the way. So I would expect a controversy right there.
yeah. And, interestingly, biryani and the Great Indian Kitchen
Yeah.
was talked about in the same sentence, because the Great Indian Kitchen talks about in the Hindu family and biryani talks about in the Muslim culture. So they were compared a lot during the time.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and when the award was given to Great Indian Kitchen, people were complaining that the award was not given to biryani because they were supporting the Muslim culture,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Hindu. The thing is, people didn't know that last year they had given the award to biryani. People didn't know
Mm.
that. People were creating issues. And people were talking
Oh.
about it gave the award only to the Great Indian Kitchen. They were supporting and they, talking against the Hindu culture. So
So
Yeah.
were
people
there
can.
extreme reactions? Were there extreme reactions when people
No,
saw that film,
that
biryani?
was actually in the social media. That's Kerala has been lucky in that way. There's a lot of leeway regarding to literature. Stays in the social media platform. There's no physical harm done. I think in my memory only one thing happened. There was a fake set on fake church on the set of Minnal Murli, which was burned down by various religious people. Other than
Okay.
that, on the streets, there's no violent attacks or anything like that.
Uh,
Because in the 80s, in Malayalam cinema, 80s had more female-oriented films than what we have now. So
okay.
kind of yeah, well, the directors, actors, they were all thinking in a very philosophical way. Directors like
Mm.
KG George made more female-oriented films than any other director now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I still remember in the climatic scene of a film called Adam in the Warrior, which means the spine of man. The women are created like the Abrahamic religions believe that. And in that movie, the climatic shore, it talks about similar to Great Indian Kitchen. It had a superstar like Mammootty playing a supporting role, and it had three female leads. And in that ending
Oh.
sequence, I still remember everybody, this woman who, ironically, this woman is in the lower class. She is the one who escapes society. She is the one who's most tortured, but she is rescued by society and put in a women's welfare home. And from there, we think the movie is going to end. A happy ending for that woman at least. The other two women ended in no slightly bad way. So we think it's going to be a good way. And but then the actress, the character stands up. She calls all the other women in the rescue home, and they start running towards the gate. And they don't stop
Okay.
running. They run past the director of the movie and the cinematographer and everybody, cameraman, and these women from the rescue home start running. That's how the movie ends. So it's breaking the fourth wall and saying that women, it's not the creator of the character, the creator's God, the cinematographer and the director. They don't control how a woman's life should be. We think that the women should be rescued. No, they shouldn't be rescued. They have to be allowed to live as they want. And so that this is an 80s film. And
Oh, thank you for highlighting. Yeah, yeah, Ranish, thank you for highlighting that. And just I would again want to tell everyone who's watching right now, just like Ranish has joined us, if you also want to join this live session and share your thoughts on Churuli, the link to this live stream is in my community tab. You can go there, click on it, and I'll add you on as a guest, just as Ranish has come. So coming back to the film now, let's also uh, sorry.
we went far away from Churli.
Yeah, 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 of course we need to come back to this is a Churuli discussion. So Farad, now if I ask you, going back to the film, how would you rate Vinay Fort's and others performance? Because in a film where it's an ensemble cast, it's first of all, it's not fair to compare different performances, because everyone has done a fabulous job, done justice to the character. But given the names, again, these are big names of Kerala, of Malayalam industry, Jafar Idiki, and even Shobin is there at the end, and a couple of other guys. So how would you rate their performances? And not to forget, I think Vinay Ford also shared your popcorn reviews post as well.
He did, yeah, he did. He did share my review, and Vinay Ford, I think I at least started noticing from Malik. I think I remember in your
Yeah,
podcast only we had talked about Malik, and then it was last week with Kanakam Kamini, and now
yeah,
this one. So there are three different roles, with amazing range. But what I feel is that because the writing here is so abstract and so strong that I think uh, 70% of the work would already have been done. So the actors just had to just do their thing.
yeah,
So, which is why I feel that in a film like this, particularly, there's not only one character that stands out. Like
yeah,
we for just to give a perspective, if I have to give an example of Malik, yeah, there Vinay Fort was in that film. Also, there were a couple of other excellent. Even Nimisha was there in that film. But we more or less we talk about Fahad Fazil only in that film because he
yeah,
had a author back role and the story revolved around him. But here, particularly, what I felt was that everyone had an equal screen space, not screen space really, but equal opportunities to act, if I may add that way. So I
yeah,
feel that in this such a film, everyone is more or less at the same level. So we end up talking about everybody, like who is acting. Here, it's a little bit of a catch-22, if I may add, because the role of the actor might be easy as well as it might be a little difficult as well, considering that the theme was a little too abstract. So
yeah,
here it was a fine balance that the actor had to maintain, and you would generally see a good performance, which is exactly what happened here.
yeah. So now, before we end this, we have gone past 40 minutes. It didn't. I didn't even realize, because the film is such. Uh, Now, before we end this, how satisfied are you with the ending of the film, both of you? Because a lot of people might not have understood the ending, and I've already seen a lot of YouTube videos where they're explaining the ending. So let me go to Ranish first. Ranish, were you satisfied with the ending, or you would have wanted it to end a different way?
No, I was satisfied because as an audience, I like to think what happened. Like I want to think about the film, and I really enjoyed that ending. Well, because if they had given us an answer, it would have the movie would have ended with that. There wouldn't be any conversation about that. So I absolutely love the ending. And Jaffrey Dickey was saying about his first day of shoot. Lijo told him to come to the set and told him say whatever you want. That's how the shoot went.
Wow. Oh
Oh,
So,
man,
man.
it is a
that
big,
level of freedom.
yeah.
I
And
think
they,
everyone's given that kind of freedom, I feel, in this film,
yeah, they
right from
finished the shooting.
cinematographer to sound design.
Yeah, they finished the shoot in 18 days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody
18 days.
told
Yeah,
us that.
there's one comment on that as well.
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
it
Farad,
was.
what did you make of the abstract ending?
I I'm with Ranish here. I mean, I really felt that this film didn't need to spoon feed the audience because the central theme was, a spiral, Churuli. That was the central theme. So you had to go in circles. You had to not explain the ending. You had to be welcome to interpretations that were there, which is exactly the case here. This is one film that is going to grow for sure. They are going to be
Eh,
drawing room
let me
conversations.
let me let me put another film here in comparison. In when we talk about cult status, did it have shades of that Hindi film?
Andhadhun.
Tumbad. Did it have
But
shades of Tumbad? Because
It did.
that also grew in status as a cult film, and there was a lot of abstract stuff in that film as well, and VFX wise, and the grandness wise, and all those things. So somewhere it for me it reminded me of Tumbad in parts, not overall.
Yeah, it did. Like the modern stuff really reminded me of Tumbad, and
Yeah,
but culturally, Churli has been more accepted than Tumbad in Kerala at
yeah,
least.
yeah,
I think there
yeah.
is initial the animated scenes remind me of Tumbad.
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
people from Kerala would love Tumbad as well. If anybody has not seen it, they would be, if they will watch Tumbad, they'll be like, okay, this looks like more of a Malayalam film than Hindi film.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, the
I
look
was
and feel.
new movies of him coming out like Tumbad Makers,
Yeah,
the actor. I don't
yeah, yeah,
remember the
yeah.
actor.
Yeah, he's making another one. Yes, I'm
He's
forgetting.
making another.
Yeah, Farad, you
He's
were
making
saying
a web
something?
series, I think. He's making a web series, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
The director of Tumbad. But I was saying that yeah, the look and feel did resemble Tumbad, but Tumbad for me still was an easier interpretation as compared to Churuli.
yeah,
Churuli, the clues that were there in the film throughout, each one led to a dead end. It was
Yeah.
not a clear passage, to catch. For example, at the very start of this conversation, I think Keshav, you had said that at the shop there were the people at the back who were saying that two Europeans who were caught by aliens.
Americans, Americans.
Americans, yeah, Americans. So that again was, of course, it was a metaphor for the characters, but it didn't really. Where did alien come from? That was the kind of dead end that you actually run into if you follow the clues.
Yeah,
So
and the way they have shown it, I mean, they try to confuse the audience as well. I mean, those lights, and then when they go to hunt the buffalo. So suddenly when the gunshot goes away, you think, okay, what just happened? Have they shot one of those two creatures that they've been showing or something? So it gets to your mind that way.
These things, make people believe that Winnie Fort is the model because he kills the animal. He has the scene with the kid, the poster case. So people,
Yeah,
this is why people.
and even that the guy who slaps him, in that fair, the slap fight that's happening, so he kills him as well. So okay, spoiler alert.
Character before. I don't know whether you. I joined late, so I don't know whether you talked about this old man where people are afraid of him when he walks into a
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know whether you talked about it. Where people are saying
We
that he's the man controlling the time loop because it is his house. Winnie Ford looked into. Sanjeevan looked into. So he's the one who's
I
controlling.
honestly, what I felt, I when I started the film, and that there is that 2D animation of a little story that they tell before the film starts. So the
Mm,
monk. So when
mm.
that guy enters, I for a second I thought, is it him? That is it this immortal character that they have been building up towards? Is it him who just entered and everybody goes silent? But anyway, yeah, good you pointed it out.
And there are a lot of theories that the glass is the light people, and they think that they are the aliens who are controlling the Churli and stuff. There are a lot of
Yeah,
theories going.
yeah.
I've been reading it since the time I saw
You
the movie.
know, more than review videos on YouTube, this film will have more
ending
conspiracy
explained.
theory videos, ending
That's,
explained and theories. All those videos will be much more than the reviews actually.
that's true.
Yeah, true.
So, guys, we'll end this in a couple of minutes now. Before I go to the next finishing segment, again, if anybody quickly wants to come up on the stream, just like Ranish has come, if you want to share your thoughts on Churuli, 47 people are watching us right now. Thank you for joining. You can go to the community tab, click on the StreamYard link, join us here, and share your thoughts before we end this. So now. After this film, now there is a lot of controversy, and it's going on in festivals and all. So do you think that this is probably going to be one of the best Malayalam films to have come out this year? Because there's a lot of stiff competition, I'm telling you. We ourselves have covered so many films on this channel, and uh, there is Joji, there is Kurudi, there is Malik, Great Indian Kitchen. So much of so. Where do you rank this as the film, the Malayalam film of the year? Where do you rank this?
For me, I like sci-fi, so this is the first. I like sci-fi,
Oh,
so to the top.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
it's the topmost for you. Okay,
rare to get a sci-fi film in India.
yeah. Okay, Farad.
For me, Night 2 still tops it, but then I mean this one, it's going to grow definitely. So I have also rated this film a certain way on my website. You can check out Popcorn Reviews with a double S. I have rated certain way, but I may need to reconsider that rating also, considering so many theories that were there which didn't really click while I was writing the review. I can see it on the live stream. So I don't know. It's right up there for me. It's right up there. It's international level cinema that we were honored and privileged to watch.
Well, same here. And I think it takes guts to make films
Takes
like
guts.
these. It takes guts to make films like Kurudi. It takes a lot of guts to make whatever Malayalam cinema has been doing. And in a way, it tells that, lockdown cannot hamper creativity and imagination. These are the things that cannot be locked down if you have it in you. So luck favors the brave, and I'm sure the fearlessness of Lijo and all these directors will be eventually paid off. These little bit controversies, nobody will remember them in a couple of months' time. Everybody will remember the genius of Lijo and this masterpiece that he has delivered once again. Okay, just before we end this, somebody has asked us where is it available. It's actually on Sony Live. It's not on Prime or Netflix, so go watch it. Thank you, Ranish, for joining in. It was a lot of fun talking to you. For the first time, we did an experiment like this, and I'm so glad you joined and you're not camera shy. So it was great fun talking to you. And how did you feel about this experience talking with us for the first time?
Great. I thought I will say two words and go, but I stayed on. It's great. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you, thank you. And please go check out Farad's review as well on Popcorn Reviews. We'll put the link in the description after this. And Farad, thank you for coming in. And how did you think of this little experiment we did today?
I think we should do it more often. It gives us an opportunity
Yeah,
to meet new people like Ranish. I think Ranish gave some amazing insights today. I mean, hands
yeah,
down, it we would
and
not
not
have covered
just
that, Ranish.
not just about the film, but in general, the pop
Yeah,
culture references which he would have understood better than us. Throwing some light on that, educating and enlightening us. I think that was great of him as well. So thank you guys for listening on. This is Churuli podcast. If you are just joining us, then after this you can replay this whole thing, what we talked about. Okay, Ashish has also said review his other movies, Jallikattu, RIP, and okay, sure, of course, we'll be doing that in coming weeks as well. So once again, thank you for watching. This is Keshav, Farad, and Ranish signing off, and we'll see you very soon with yet another All Things Cinema podcast. Until then, keep subscribing, and please, it's a request, like this video, because the more the likes we get, the more the algorithm pushes our video to new viewers and help us in reaching wider audience. So thank you if you like the content, and we'll see you very soon. Good night.
good night.
Good night.